Today's build is this little kit from Banggood. It's called a Wheel of Fortune training module. Sounds very technical, doesn't it? I'm guessing that what it is that the LEDs will go round the outside, a bit like a roulette wheel, I guess, and then eventually stop. This kit has 3 resistors, 2 of them are the same. One of them is different, so that'd be easy for us colourblind people to solder on. A couple of ICs with IC holders, diode transistors, a couple of capacitors, LEDs and a switch. So all seems fairly easy. Very easy layout on the circuit board, very easy to solder. So let's get started. Right, so I've mounted it in the small circuit board vise. And quite interestingly, a lot of the connections on the circuit board are also on the side of the print. The reverse side, as you can see, looks like it's not connected. Let's get that off here, like here. So it looks like they're not connected, but they're actually connected on this side. But when we solder through, we put the components this side, and then we'll solder this side, and because the connection goes through the circuit board, it will connect on this side for us. So what we're going to do, we've got 2 resistors there which are the same, and the different one is just there, just 3 resistors, diode goes there, capacitors go there. So let's start with the resistor just by itself. Goes in there, and then the 2 other capacitor, 2 other resistors as well. Okay, as always, we'll just bend those legs slightly so we can just hold the component in place while we solder it up. There we go. Right, it's got them done. Let's chop off the legs. Okay, that resistor's moved a bit, but that's fine, it's not going to cause any problems. So the next component we're going to put on are the 2 capacitors. Now these are marked with a plus this side and a minus this side. Obviously you can see the line, the shaded part. And let's have a quick look. Right, okay, if you can see that on the circuit board, there's a plus just there and just there. So we have a little bit of shading. You can just see there, there and there for the minus. You can see that all right. So I'll put those in. Okay, there we go. So that's got those in place. So while we're here, I think we'll put in the switch, which is here. Doesn't say which way around it goes, so we should be alright. Just pop it in place. There we go. And because those legs are slightly springy, it holds it in place as we turn it round. Here we go. Now what I'm just going to do, just going to hold it with my finger, just loosen it off again, just push it in slightly. There we go. That just pushes the switch to home, actually just right down on the circuit board. There we go. So next thing we can put in is the diode, and the diode has a line just there, and that matches up with the line on the circuit board just there. Okay, there we go. Now the ICs come with these holders. I've already put them in the leg straightener. So just put it in there, clip it up like that, and it straightens the legs. I've already done that with the ICs. So what we're going to do is the smaller one first, the timer, which goes down there. I also noticed that that is where the transistor goes. This is going to be quite tight, so I think actually I'll put the transistor in first, because that looks like it's going to be a bit close for soldering. So with the transistor, excuse my coughing, I've got a bit of a cold, is a flat side on here and a rounded side, and on the circuit board here you see a flat and a rounded just at the bottom of it. So that's the way it goes round. There we go. Okay, so let's see if we can get this IC in now. So we'll use the holder, and what we need to look out for on this is there's a little cutout just there, and that lines up with the cutout on the circuit board just there. So put that in at that. And what we'll do here, pop a bit of fresh solder on there, hold the holder with my finger. We'll just put a bob on there like that. And that will just hold it in place while we solder it up. Okay, here we go. So let's get the other one in. Same thing again. Cut out at the top, cut out goes with that. I should hold it in place while we get that soldered up. There we go. So apart from the LEDs, that's got all the components on. We'll wait until we get the LEDs on before we actually put the ICs in. So next on our little list is the LEDs. Now the LEDs, they're all red. They have a long lead and a short lead. The long lead is a positive, short lead is the negative. And if we look at our circuit board, all the outside leads are connected together. If we look onto the reverse, you'll see that most of them we've got tracks on this side. If we look at the power here, plus and minus, that track goes right down to the outside. So negative is the outside. So our short lead is to the outside and the long lead is to the inside. And the LED just pops on like that. So, oops, long lead on the inside, short lead on the outside.
I just saw the point right, so I do that one again. Okay, so that's got all the LEDs put in. And again, apologies for the coughs because I've got a bit of cold. We can just do a physical check around all the components again, all the soldering points, make sure that all the connections are well soldered in. And what we also need to do now is insert the ICs. So first of all, this little one, which is a timer, it's a 555 timer. And just as before, there's a cutout there and a cutout just there. So let's get that in place. There we go. And then this one, again there's a cutout just there and a cutout just there. Oops, now if we look at that, I've completely missed the holder, so let's just gently get that out again. Oh dear. Right, so I've got some bent pins. Right. Right, let's get these legs straight. Bring in this. As you can see from there, these are quite bent. Just get that out of the way. Okay, so I don't want to do that again. There we go, that's better. Right. Next thing we need is some power. Right, so I've just got a piece of wire here, black and red, and we're going to use the red for the positive, and we'll just poke that through the bottom here. There we go. Just flattening it down slightly just so it holds into place. And we can solder that in place. And we'll do the same with the black cable as well. Okay, so let's take it off the vise and let's get some power to it. Right, so now we've got it off the vise, we've got our cables connected to it. We've got a 9-volt battery here, so let's plug it in and find out what happens. So red goes to positive, black goes to minus or negative. Okay, let's press the button. Hey. Excellent. Another project done.